Kukurit, family tradition. Have Deshrit, which is a country tradition. And you have Vedarit, that tradition comes from the Vedas. And of course, the tradition allows for certain variations when it comes to the worship of Ma. But the standard form of worship is obeying the 16 forms of puja, whereby Ma is invoked in the murti, and then you set about to worship her because she comes as your very special, honored, divine guest that you've invited to your home. And she comes and she takes her seat in that murti, and then you begin to worship this murti as a living form of Ma. And Ma, of course, out of her mercy, she certainly answers your prayers. She responds to that simple worship that you offer to her in the murti form. In the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, story is told also of not only Sita, but Sriram, Bhagwan Sriram also performing this puja to the Devi. Bhagwan Sriram. Now this katha is not in the Ramayana. What you'll find in the Ramayana, in Lanka Kand, is where Bhagwan Sriram, before he crossed the bridge to Lanka, he performed puja there, right? To whom? To whom? He performed whose puja? You don't know your Ramayana. He performed, okay, let me just tell you the chaupai. Param ramya uttamya dharani mahima amit jai nai bardi karihau iha shambhu stapana more hriday parama kalpana linga tap vidhivat kari puja shiva samana priya mohina duja shiva drohi mamadas kahava jena rasapani mohina pava. So you got a clue now, right? Right. So there he performed puja to Bhagwan Shiva. Not necessarily in the murti, but lingatapi vidhivat. He, with his own hands, he molded this lingam of Bhagwan Shiva. And he performed abhishekam on the lingam. The same way you will worship the lingam in Shivratri or in your puja, in your home, in the mandir, the same puja Bhagwan Sriram performed on that lingam. And that area where the lingam was established, where the lingam is still present today, is called Rameshwaram. Rameshwaram is in Tamil Nadu, in South India. Anyone here saw the lingam? Yes, Devinaji saw the lingam. Twice, yeah. So if you haven't visited Rameshwaram, is one of the places, must visit place on your list. Make sure when you go to India, put that on your list. Because your eyes are blessed only to behold this lingam. And this lingam is all the way in there in the Sanctum Sanctorum, this huge mandir is there in Rameshwaram. And I had the opportunity also myself to have the darshan of that lingam. So it's very, very special. That entire area is blessed, Rameshwaram. Because Bhagwan Sri Ram walked there, Hanumanji walked there. And you go farther towards the end, say Tuband, forward all the way to the end, where the land ends, and all you're looking at ocean, and that's the point where that bridge is to Lanka. You can't see the bridge because it's covered with water now, but the bridge is there. It used to be visible, but in 1967, I think, there was a cyclone that passed there and did some damage. Now the bridge is like 12 feet of water, 12 feet below, and that bridge is there. It's a chain of shoals that are there. Some rocks also from the bridge you could actually see in a mandir in Rameshwaram, and you can see the rocks floating still up to now. The rocks that were used to construct the bridge. So whatever is written in the text, my dear brothers and sisters, is not fiction. It is not Nancy story. It is historic. It is authentic. It is factual. It is true. Because you can actually go there yourself and see the evidence for you. which are nice. So we know the story of Sriram in the Ramayana, where the shadowy form, the chaya form of Mother Sita was abducted by Ravan and taken to Lanka. And there she is in Ravan's captivity. She is held captive by Ravan. She refused to eat, to sleep. She's only thinking of her Lord, Sriram, Sriram. There she is waiting to be liberated by someone from Lanka. Sriram, on the other hand, he gets news, he gets word that Sita is in Lanka. He is with Lakshman. Lakshman is his only companion here. And now he begins to lament and begins to speak words of sadness about Sita's abduction. He's thinking about his Sita, worried about her, can't wait to rescue her from the grip of Ravan. So obviously, he is very depressed. He's very dejected. He also, like Sita, he can't find an appetite to eat or to sleep. He's extremely worried at this point. So he's in this sad state, and he is sitting at this point on a rock. So the Devi Bhagavatam tells us in the 30th chapter, the 3rd skand, describes for us what happens at that point. Om Aim Hrim Klim Chamundai Vichya Vyasavach Evam To Savidam Kritvam Yavatrishting Babhuvatu Ajagamam Tara Kanadarom Bhagavan Rishim Ranayam Mahiting Vinang Swargramam Vibhushitam Gayan Bridatang Sama Tada Tamupaprastvam Dishwatam Rama Atyayam Dadavatyang Vishav Shubham Asarang Chagapadyam Cha Kritavatam Mritajuding Pujang Parikramam Kritvam Kritanjari Surupasatasta Upashtim Samipitu Kritagyo Munina Hari Upavashting Tadaramam Samujam Dutamanasam Prapucham Naradam Pritam Kuchalang Munasattama Katang Ragava Shukantu Yata Viprananunada Ristvang Pitang Chajanami Ravarinam Duratmanam. So that at that moment, व्यास जी बोले इस प्रकार से यह दोनों भ्राता करके जब मौन हुए, so after he spoke his mind out to Lakshman, and maun hui means, and he became very silent. Didn't say anything else. So both of them are sitting on this rock, there in the forest. At that moment, usi samay, Akash marg se, from the heavens, Dev Rishi Narad ji aaye. So Narad appeared with Dev Rishi. He appeared before them at that point. Swargram se vibhushit mehti veena ko bajate, tatha brisantar sam gayan karakram hui. And here he appeared with a lute. The lute is a veena, the instrument in his hand. रघुनाथ जी ने मनुष्यों को आया देखकर सुंदर धर्म रूप वृष्ट दिया और महाज्योतिर्मान से उनको अर्घ्य पाद्य और आसन दिया. So Sri Ram recognized him as his holy saint. And Sri Ram, the humble Ram that he is, whenever he sees a saint, whenever he sees a rishi, a holy person, what he does? He bows to them and he gives them the due respect that they deserve. Even though he is the Lord and the saint may be mortal, but Sri Ram always does this. Remember, when he goes into the forest and he approaches Valmiki ashram, and Valmiki comes out of his ashram, he sees his guests standing outside the ashram. You would expect that Valmiki now would rush and would prostrate at the feet of Sri Ram, right? Isn't that so? Why? Because it was the name of Ram that he took to reform himself, even though he recited it backwards. Instead of Rama, 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 he goes Mada, 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 right? So that name was so powerful that changed Valmiki from a highway robber to a saint. So he knew the power of the name of Ram, and he knew the power of Sri Ram also. So here is Sriram standing now at the outskirts of the ashram. You would expect Valmiki now to rush and cross. This is Ram whose name I've been chanting. This is the Ram who's actually saved me, who transformed me. It didn't happen like that. When Valmiki got out of his ashram, Sriram was the one to go and prostrate at the feet of Valmiki. He was the one who did it. Why? Because Pratakala Ujikai Raghunatha Mata Pita Guru Navahi Mata. Because he was taught by his father Dashrath when he was a little boy growing up in his father's home. He was taught to rise early in the morning and he was taught to bow. And he bowed not only to mother and father, but Mata Pita Guru Navahi Mata. He bowed to the Guru as well. All of these saints, he saw them as gurus in their own right. He bowed to the feet of Guru Vasishtha. He bowed to the feet of Guru Vishwamitra. Now he bows to Valmiki. Then Narada appears now. And what he will do is extend the same obeisance to Narada, seeing him as Devrishi, the same. So what he does, he gives Narada a seat to sit, and he washed the feet of the saint, washed his feet. स्वर्गराम से पूछित मती उनको ध्यापय और आसन दिया. So Arghya, so he gives him water, the sip. Pajya means washing the feet of the saint, or asandiya, give him a comfortable seat. और परम पूजा कर हाथ जोड़ उपस्थित हुए और मुनि से सकृत हो रामचंद्र भगवान उनके समीप बैठे. Then with folded hands he bows to the saint and he offered him a seat next to him. This is the kind of respect, reverence accorded to a saintly person by Sriram. And he's come to teach all of us along the same lines. When you meet a holy person, a saintly person, this is the kind of reverence should be extended to that person in question. अनुज साहिब बैठे मन में दुखी रामचंद्र से मुनिश्रेष्ठ नारद जी कुशल पूछते लगे. So Narad now striking up a conversation with Sriram. And he's asking him, he says, tell me now, how are things going with you? In simple terms. Hey Ram, साधारण मनुष्य के समान क्यों शोक करते हो? So he says, it is very unusual to see sadharan Purush means good-natured, good people like yourself. Is very uncommon to see people like you is shok karte ho, who are grieving in sorrow. मैं जानता हूँ, he says, I know, दुरात्मा रावण जानकी कोहर को ले गया है. मैंने देवलोक में यह बात सुनी थी और दुरात्मा रावण ने अपनी मृत्यु के निमित्त जानकी हरण की है. He says, but I know the reason of your sorrow. In Devlok, in the heavens, I have heard the entire story about Sita's abduction by Ravan. Hey Ram, तुम्हारा जन्म रावण के वध के निमित्त है. हे नराधि, इसी कारण जानकी का हरण हुआ है. पूर्व जन्म में यह वैदेही मुनिपुत्री बड़ी तपस्विनी थी. So he says, O Ram, as you know, your purpose on earth is to destroy Ravan and demons like him. That's the reason why you took avatar, and that's the reason why Sita was abducted, to create that plot so that he could be destroyed. स्वयं इंद्र ने, हे राम, मैं उस दैत्य को नाश का उपाय करता हूं. So he says, oh Ram, I'm going to give an upay. Upay means an advice. I'm going to give you an advice how this demon Ravan could be destroyed. This is what you have to do. Tum shraddha purvak, with faith in your heart, Ashwin Maas se vrat karo, perform this vrat of puja, vrat of Ma. And you must do so in the month of Ashwin, that is the Ara Navratri, Ashwin. Navratra ka upavas or Bhagavati ka pujan karo means observe the fasting for these 9 days and 9 nights, और भगवती का पूजन करो, meaning worship, perform the puja of Bhagavati Ma Durga Ma. हे राम, जप होम के विधान से सब सिद्धि होगी, and meditate on her and perform the home havan as well. मैं जो भगवती की और इस व्रत को पहले विष्णु और महादेव ने किया था. This puja, the worship of Ma, this व्रत was observed and performed. Pehle means, as I said earlier, Pehle, and from time immemorial, the beginning of time, by Vishnu or Mahadev, by Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. They worship the Devi. Tata Brahma ji ne bhi kiya, and Brahma as well. और स्वर्ग में स्थित इंद्र में भी इस व्रत को किया था. And Indra, Dev, and all the devatas in the heavens, they also worship Devi Ma. हे राम, सुखी पुरुषों को नवरात्र का सुंदर व्रत करना चाहिए, और कष्ट में प्राप्त हुए पुरुषों को तो अवश्य ही व्रत करना चाहिए. That anyone in the world who is seeking the alleviation or relief from their problems, from their difficulties, whatever they may be, whatever the source may be, it is important that to avashya hi vrat karna chahiye, worship the Devi. That is the formula in the world, in this age of Kali Yuga, for mankind to rid himself from these sorrows. Hey Ram, nisandeha vrat Vishwamitra kiya tha. Vishwamitra also performed this puja. Bhrigu Vasishta or Kashyap ne यह व्रत किया था. All these great saints and sages. बृहस्पति ने दारण में यह व्रत किया था. हे राजेंद्र, तुम भी रावण वध के निमित्त यह व्रत करो. And you also, in an effort to destroy Ravan, you must perform this puja as well, observe the व्रत. इंद्र वृत्रासुर के नाश को, Indra was able to conquer Vritrasur, the demons, और शंकर ने त्रिपुर नाश के निमित्त पहले यह व्रत किया था. And शंकर भगवान was able to conquer, destroy the demon Tripur simply by performing this puja from Ma. Hari ne Madhunash, Bhagwan Vishnu was able to destroy the demon Madhu and Kaitab. Madhunash ke nimit meru ke vrat kiya tha because of the powers of Ma. Hey Ram, tum bhi savdhan hokar isse karo. You also, O Ram, with faith and devotion, perform this puja to Mother. Sriram bole wa kaun Devi. So Sriram is asking for our purpose, for the sake of the world. Who is this Devi? क्या उसका प्रभाव है? कहाँ से हुई? क्या नाम है? हे दयानिधि, उनका व्रत कैसा है? आप सर्वज्ञ हो कहिए. Tell me now, O Narad, who is this Devi? Where does she come from? What are her powers? What is the procedure as to how this puja should be done? So these are questions that we also will ask from time to time. Isn't that so? Someone who is not knowledgeable of the puja, not familiar with the puja, you want to ask because, and you asking questions is good. You know, back in the days, you were to ask a question to your parents and says, well, why are we doing this? What is this all about? What did they tell you? What did they tell you? Shut up. You don't ask any questions. It was considered blasphemy. It was considered inappropriate to ask questions. You simply had to follow along. You do what I tell you to do. You just do it. Don't ask any questions. Do it. Put your faith and do it. So the child then, he's following the parents, remain with a doubt, can't get those questions answered, but simply follow along blindly. So now questions are important, my dear brothers and sisters. All the scriptures is about question and answer. In the Bhagavad Gita, for example, Arjuna is asking the questions, Bhagwan Krishna is giving the answer. In the Ramayana, Mother Parvati is asking the question, Lord Shiva is giving the answers. In all the Puranas, Suji is narrating, Shaunak is asking a question, Suji is giving the answers. So if you have the disciple and the guru, the disciple has doubts. He's entitled to voice his doubts aloud. And the guru's job is to remove those doubts from the minds of the disciple. Now, everything that we do in Sanatana Dharma, in our ritualistic practices, they all have significant meanings. They have philosophical meanings. So you can understand it better and you see how much sense it makes. And they have scientific meanings as well. Our Sanatana Dharma is scientific in content also. If you get the right person to decipher all these questions and answer, nowadays you can Google many of these, and you can get answers also on the internet. All these answers, you read the text, you find the answers to the questions in there as well. So all of these have important significances. So that is the reason why Sriram is asking the question. He's asking the question which any one of us would ask. But you telling me now I must worship this Devi. Now he could have said, okay, I'm going to worship this Devi because you said so. That would be fine. But he wants more information. Well, okay, tell me, who is this Devi? Where is she? What is her origin? What are her powers? What can she do for me? What can she do for the world? Questions like these. Even though he already knew, but for the sake of all, if he didn't ask the questions, the answers wouldn't be given. If the answers weren't given, then how come we would have received the knowledge? So these questions help to enlighten us, not for his sake, but for all of us. See, in this age of posterity, all of us would have access to this knowledge. So the answers that Narada would give would benefit you and me. So having asked this question, now Narada responds. Now Narada didn't say, Ram, why are you asking what is Devi for? You're not supposed to be questioning things. You just do what I tell you to do. Don't have any doubts about her. Just follow. He didn't do that. He was asked the questions, and very humbly, he also answers the question. And he says, पीछे यही सगुना होकर जगत उत्पन्न करती है, पहले ब्रह्मादि को प्रकट करके उनको सब प्रकार शक्ति देकर संपन्न करती है, उसी को जानकर यह प्राणी संसार बंधन के मुक्त हो जाता है। वह विद्या वेद की आज्ञा वेद की करने वाली जानी चाहिए। उनके असंख्य नाम ने ब्रह्मानी ने गुण कर्म के विधान से कहाँ तक कहे। श्री रामचंद्र बोले, हे नारद जी, आप संक्षेप इस व्रत का विधान कहिए, अभी मैं श्रद्धापूर्वक देवी का आराधना करूंगा। So Narada goes on to say that whatever exists in the universe, O Ram, in this infinite universe, whether it's temporal or whether it's eternal, she is the underlying force of all. Whatever exists, things that's transient, things that is permanent, the underlying force of that Shakti, she is. Then, if that is so, then Narada says, how can she have an origin? There's no origin, because before all of this existed, all you can see, before the entire universe existed, all the planets and everything, galaxies, before all of this, the oceans all existed, there was only energy, Shakti. She was there. Out of that energy that Ma encompasses, out of that energy, creation sprung forth. So she has no origin. She is the origin of the origin. And her origin, he says, is not Brahma, is not Vishnu, is not Shiva. She didn't originate from them. Or Indra, all the devatas. She is devoid of any qualities. She is the giver of salvation. She is the full of Prakriti. If you want to know about the Devi, this is who the Devi is. In the times of the final dissolution, she's responsible for that dissolution of the universe. In addition to that, she has this Sagun form. Sagun means she's manifest, full of qualities. And hence, when she manifests now, she becomes the consort of Brahma or Vishnu, Shiva. As knowledge, as resources, prosperity, and as energy. This is who Ma is. And the individual souls, he says, knowing her nature, become able to free themselves from the bondage of the world. If you are a true devotee of Mother, if you understand her true nature, and you worship her with sincerity and love, then you can free yourself from bondage. Simple as that. She is known, he says, by endless names. There is no limit to the names of Ma. And all of the devatas, you might choose to call her according to their actions and qualities. And Narad says, I am unable to tell you all those names because there are too many. Her names are endless. So Sriram listens to this, and then he says to Narad, he says, Hey Naradji, aap sanchep se is brat ka vidhan kariye. Now tell me in a nutshell, how must I perform this puja and observe this fast to the Devi? How must she be worshipped? अभी मैं श्रद्धा पूर्वक देवी का आराधन करूंगा. I am going to put all your faith in this Ma, in this Devi. I'm going to meditate on her and perform this puja. नारद जी बोले, हे राम, समस्त स्थान में सिंहासन स्थापन कर, उस पर भगवती को स्थान पर विधि पूर्वक नवरात्र व्रत कीजिए. Says what you do, get a singhasan, an asan, a special seat, install there the murti of Ma, and for these 9 days observe the fast, pray to her each day, meditate on that form of Mother, and worship her with devotion. On this level plot of ground, he says, prepare this altar, this singhasan. Place the Devi there for these 9 days. So Sriram says, well, I need a priest who will do this puja for me. And so Narad says, हे भगवान, आपके इस कार्य में आचार्य मैं हूँगा. Says, I will be the priest. I will conduct the puja, says Narad. I will be the acharya. देव कार्य विधान के निमित्त मुझको व्यवसाय है. व्यास जी बोले, ये सत्य. उसके वचन सुनकर प्रतापवान रामचंद्र सुंदर सिंहासन करवा उस पर शिवा को स्थापन कर. So hearing these words from Narad, Shiva is another name for Ma. Durga Ma ko sthapan kar, installed that murti there of Ma. व्रत पूर्वक भगवान ने विधि से पूजन किया. Now, according to this is important. He then performed his puja to Ma. But he did so vidhi se. Vidhi se puja. The word vidhi is important. Vidhi means following the scriptural injunctions, all the instructions of the scriptures. Now, you must know, when you perform your puja in your home, your Panditji comes to your puja in your home, in mandir, wherever you perform this puja. This puja follows the procedure that is stipulated by the scriptures. It is documented in the scriptures. All these instructions are there. The scriptures become like the blueprint which is faithfully followed. So the 16 forms of puja, from Avahan to Visarjan, all of these with the respective mantras, with each item's worship offered to Ma is there. Sriram performed the puja of Bhagavan Shiva according to the vidhi as well. So if you perform the puja without following the vidhi, then it's not authentic. So whatever we do is important. Whatever you offer to Ma is not based on blind faith or on blind tradition. It has its source, it has its origin. It is a revelation to us by the saints and sages, documented in the scriptures. And those mantras are there to be read, to be read accordingly. So a Purohit, for example, one who is versed in puja, would study these scriptures and would perform this puja according to these respective mantras. Ved mantras, Puranic mantras are there. So this is how this puja, Bhagwan ne Ratpurvat Bhagwan ne vidhi se pujan kiya, Ashwin maas se us girivar par prapt hone par. So there Sriram performed, celebrated this vow and performed his puja to Ma. उपवास में तत्पर होकर राम ने उत्तम व्रत किया, होम बलिदान विधि पूर्वक पूजन किया, प्रेम पूर्वक दोनों भ्रातों ने नारद जी की सम्मति ने किया। अष्टमी के दिन आधी रात को देवी भगवती पूजित होकर सिंह पर आरूढ़ को दर्शन देती हुई और पूर्व श्रृंग पर स्थित को सानुज राम से बोली। Now, does Ma answer prayers? Right. Everybody will say, probably you say yes. Now you say yes because I'm pretty sure all of us will have your own personal experiences. When you perform puja to mother and you've gotten your results. You've got your answer from her. Isn't that so? You may not see how she's protecting you. You may not know how she's protecting you. But what you need to know is that she is indeed protecting you in so many ways. When you leave your home in the morning, you turn that key, you lock your door, and you step into your car, or you step into a bus, or you simply walk on the street to go to your final destination. And you go about your activities for the day. And in the evening, you come back, and you turn your key, and you open your door, and you go in back into your home. Don't take that for granted. That is not automatic. You hear it on the news every day. Someone pushed someone on the subway tracks. Someone got into an accident, sometimes very serious, critical, sometimes fatal. Someone is a victim of a gunshot. Every day something is happening to somebody on the streets. Someone got a heart attack. Someone never made it back home. All these things are happening. When you leave your home and you make it back safely home, you thank Ma. Why? Because she protected you through this entire day. It's because of her protection that she kept you safe wherever you happen to go, and she brought you back safely home. When you go to your bed at night and you retire to sleep and you wake up in the morning and you can start your day again, continue your chores again, don't take that for granted either. She protected you throughout the entire night in your sleep. She gave you energy so you could survive the night. You could wake up the next morning and continue your journey. It is because of her protection that happened, because not everybody who went to bed last night woke up this morning. Not everyone who left their home this morning returned back safely home this evening. Every day, something is happening to somebody. Every single day. And that's all. So this is how she protects you. Without you knowing. She doesn't manifest and says, look, you know what? I protect you today. That's the reason why you made it back home safely. Sometimes you go on a vacation also. You leave your home, you go away for a week, 2 weeks, you go with your family to have a good time. You make it back safely home with your family. Thank her. That while you were away, she kept you safe also, protected you. So many things could have gone wrong. So many things do go wrong to a lot of people. 44,000 people went to bed one night in Turkey and Syria a few weeks ago. They never woke up the next morning. No, that is hard evidence, sad evidence of what happens to people. So when I tell you that not everybody make it back the next morning, I have to believe you. You see it happening. Recently, tornadoes hit the States You saw 20-something people died. Tornadoes come without warning. Hurricanes you can prepare for, you can flee and you can take shelter. Tornado come from nowhere. All the homes destroyed, reduced to dust, to rubble, lives lost. Things are happening. Mom, it is her golden umbrella that shelters you and me and our devotees. My dear brothers and sisters, this is the time for us to renew our faith in Mom, renew our devotion in her. You have to believe and let that belief be strong. And you don't have to actually see a manifestation of Mother in your life to know that she is for real, to know that your prayers are being answered, to know that your puja is being accepted. Your faith tells us the circumstances around you tell you what she is doing for you. This Navratri is an effort, my dear brothers and sisters, for all of us to intensify our faith in Ma. Now more than ever, we need Ma's protection. Now we need that GPS that we spoke of. The GPS means she is our G, our guide. She's our P, our protector. And she's our S, our savior. She's your GPS. Make her your GPS. And like the ordinary GPS in your car or in your phone that takes you safely to your destination, Ma as a GPS will take you to your final destination. This GPS can take you up to the cemetery. You can't go beyond that. You can punch in after the cemetery, after they cremate you. Where are you going to take you there? GPS don't work on that side. That's your final point, this destination. That's it. Ma is going to take you to the final destination. And there you revel with the Universal Mother. So Sriram performed his puja with faith to Ma. And did Ma answer the prayer? Of course, it says, on the 8th night of this Navratri, Ashtami ke din, Adhi Raat, at exactly midnight, Devi Bhagwati pujit hokar Singh par arut to darshan deti. Ma appeared at exactly 12 o'clock in the night, astride her lion. On this lion she riding, she appeared. Singh par arut to darshan deti. Give darshan. Blessings to Sriram. और सिर्फ सानुज राम से she spoke. भक्ति भाव से संतुष्ट हो, मेघ गंभीर भाव से देवी बोली, हे राम महाबाहो, मैं तुम्हारे व्रत से संतुष्ट हुई हूँ. Now that is what all of us would like to hear. And oh Ram, I am pleased with your puja. The Devi appears. Now, you don't have to see her appear and tell you this aloud. She speaks to you through your thoughts. And when you perform your puja with faith and devotion, she will tell you, you will get that message from her that she's pleased. You look at her and you see her face is smiling. You know she's pleased with your puja. Without she saying anything, you know that she is happy. Isn't that so? You can give somebody a gift and the person doesn't say anything to you, just smiles. You look at the reaction of that person, you know whether the person is happy or not happy. Isn't that so? You don't have to say anything. Just look at the expression, and that tells you whether it's happy or not. Whether your gift was happily accepted or not. So likewise, Ma, she responds in so many ways to us. She responds through that smile. She responds, she speaks to your thought process, and she responds through your circumstances as well. Meaning, you have a situation, for example, an illness, a grave illness, you pray to her, and you seek relief, and lo and behold, you get better right away. You take it to mean that my prayers were accepted. Ma responded positively. She speaks through your circumstances. That's how she responds. Now she's speaking to Sriram. जो तुम्हारे मन में हो उस वर को मांगो. That what is in your mind, you can ask a boon if you want. आप मनुष्य वंश के नारायण अंश से प्रकट हुए. You're not ordinary, you're Narayan Vansh. You're Vishnu Bhagwan manifested as a mortal. रावण के बद निमित्त की देवताओं की तुम्हारी प्रार्थना की है. पहले, and she begins to to describe now all the different avatars. Matsya रूप धारण कर घोर रूप राक्षस को मारा. You come बड़ा रूप धारण कर अपने दांतों से अग्निभार कर and destroy all the demons. So she says, ये हमारी शक्ति से संयुक्त है, शेष से अंश ये तुम्हारे अनुज लक्ष्मण है और रावण के पुत्र को मारेंगे. हे पाप रहित, इसमें कुछ जो सदैव है. बसंत में श्रद्धा पूर्वक मेरा सेवन करना चाहिए. Says there is no doubt about it, and she recommends now the Vrat. Continue to worship me, not only in this Sharad Ritu, but in Vasant. Now Vasant means spring. This is Chaitra, Vasant Navratri we're doing. And Ma herself is recommending that continue to worship me in these two seasons, in the Sharad Ritu and in the Vasant Ritu as well, in this spring season in which we are. You will be victorious, O Ram. You will defeat the enemy and you will rule your kingdom for thousands of years. This is the boon that she granted to Sriram. I am pleased with your puja. You will recover Sita. Whatever is in your mind, whatever is the source of your worry, all of this will disappear very soon. We also have our problems when we go to Ma. It could be a financial problem to do your job. It could be problem with enemies. It could be problem with health affecting your body. It could be problem with relationships that you have. Whatever the nature of the problem, speak to her. Talk to her. And speak with confidence. Trust in her. She understands you. She knows you. And above everything else, she loves you. And like any mother who truly loves the child, the mother will go above and beyond the call of duty to be there for the child, to relieve the child of their pains. And this is what Ma does for all of us, my brothers and sisters. This is the kind of faith we must have. And this is the concluding message through this Navratri that we will bring you night after night. Now we must conclude in a little bit because our Kanyas will be getting a little tired. Now, as you know, no Durga Puja is complete without the worship of the Kanyas. And these Kanyas, the Devi Bhagavatam tells us that with great devotion we should worship these Kanyas because they are representations of the purity of Ma, Ambe Ma. Now these Kanyas, they all have names. For example, the mother who can create without any difficulty, the mother of Kumar Kartikeya, the creation of all the devas, the devotee says, I am worshipping that same Kanya Kumari Devi. She who appears under these three forms, differentiated by the three guns, Satraj and Tam, appearing in multiple forms. Now that form is called Trimurti Devi. Then the other form is called Kalyani Devi. The other form is called Rohini Devi, Kalika Devi, Chandika Devi, the one who destroyed Chanda and Munda, Shambhavi Devi, and Durga Devi. These are the different forms of these Kanyas. And when you worship these Kanyas, says the Srimad Devi Bhagavatam, the results are many. You're blessed by the Divine Mother through these Kanyas. You get a chance to actually feed a living form of the Divine Mother. And it is prescribed here in the text that you give them items, you can give them clothing, ornaments, garlands, scents, and other various articles as well, gifts. to the Kanyas. So my dear brothers and sisters, tonight, as all of us have gathered here, I'd like to thank all of you for coming here night after night, and especially tonight, the concluding night of this Navratri celebration. Just before we get busy just now, please be reminded and advised that tomorrow morning we're going to have our Ram Navami service. And Ram Navami will start at 9 a.m. sharp. We'll conclude a little after 12, because at exactly 12 noon we must rock the cradle, hailing the advent of Bhagwan Sriram. You get a chance to have the darshan of the baby Ram at 12 o'clock. This katha is in the Ramayana. We shall read Ramayana katha tomorrow about the coming of Bhagwan Sriram to the world. So if you can make it, it'd be a wonderful idea to join us tomorrow, because we're not going to have in the evening. During the daytime, we'll conclude then with Ram Navami. So tonight we pray that may the blessings of Adi Shakti Ma be with all of us who have come here faithfully and humbly with devotion to surrender the lotus feet. And translate all of this into your personal lives. Let your devotion, your faith only grow for her. You may not know all these mantras of the scripture, you don't need to. What she's looking at is the heart, a heart that is full of love and devotion. And that is what Ma responds to. So may the blessings of Ma be not only with us here in this mandir, but with the wider community as well, with the entire world. The world as we speak is in chaos. You know what's happening. The instability, the hardships, the uncertainties that we are facing every day. So it's our prayer that Ma's intervention is going to restore peace, tranquility, and stability to our world. Jagadamba Mata Ki. Now, with a special rendition, a special treat for all of us who are here tonight, and for those who will be watching also on social media. Tonight we're going to present to you our very own. She grew up in this mandir. She is Ambika. And from a little child, she would come here with her mom, and she would play the harmonium and sing bhajan. And she blossomed into a very, very talented classical dancer. So I just gave her 2 days notice. I said, Ambika, I want you to choreograph a nice, beautiful Durga Ma dance here tonight before we bring our Kanyas out. So, my dear brothers and sisters, it gives me great pleasure in introducing to you tonight none other than our very own Ambika. Please give her a nice round. Give Amika another round of applause. Thank you very much, Amika. With short notice, such beautiful choreography. And now comes the moment, my dear brothers and sisters, that we're already waiting for. And we're going to now introduce, in this year, 2023, in this Chaitra Navratri, our 9 beautiful Kanyas. नव दुर्गा नव रूप मैया सुंदर मधुर स्वरूप मैया हो पूजे तो पावे वरदान दुर्गे हो बिनती पे हमरे ये माँ शैलपुत्री 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 है सुखदात्री मनवांचित फल देती ब्रह्मचारिणी कष्टहारिणी ब्रह्मचारिणी कष्टहारिणी हर संकट हर लेती हर संकट हर लेते गौरी की अवतार मैया गौरी की अवतार मैया सतियों का श्रृंगार मैया हो पूजे सुपावे वरदान दुर्गे हो बिनती पे हमरे माँ चंद्र घंटे चंद्र घंटे चंद्र घंटे चंद्र घंटे रूप सुहावन तेरा पावन चंद्र घंटे मैया चंद्र घंटे मैया माँ कुष्मांडी पार लगा के माँ कुष्मांडी पार लगा के भवसागर की नैया भवसागर की नैया मंगल मूरत स्कंद मैया हो मंगल मूरत स्कंद मैया देखी है आनंद मैया हो पूजे तो पावे वरदान दुर्गे हो बिनती पे हमरे ये जो ध्यान माँ कात्यायनी 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 जय कात्यायनी शक्तिदाय जय अम्बे जगदम्बे जय अम्बे जगदम्बे काल रात्रि माँ काल रात्रि माँ तू निकलाए अंजम्बे सिद्धिदात्री की सिद्धि मैया हो सिद्धिदात्री की सिद्धि मैया हमको मिली मैया हो पूजे तो पावे वरदान दुर्गे हो बिनती पे हमरे ये जो ध्यान नव दुर्गा नव रूप मैया सुंदर मधुर स्वरूप मैया हो पूजे तो पावे वरदान दुर्गे हो बिनती पे हमरे ये नव दुर्गा नव रूप मैया सुंदर मधुर स्वरूप मैया हो पूजे तो पावे वरदान दुर्गे हो बिनती पे हमरे माता जय माता दुर्गा नवरूप मैया सुंदर मधुर स्वरूप मैया हो पूजे सुभाए हरदा दुर्गे हो विनती पे हमरे भक्तों को दर्शन दे गयो रे एक छोटी सी कन्या Where do you reside, Oma? She resides in many places, but tonight she is right here. Trimurti Mandir bata gayo ek jyoti si kanya. 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 Ato darshan de gayo ek jyoti si kanya. Ato darshan de gayo ek jyoti si kanya. बच्चों ने पूछा माँ प्रसाद तेरा क्या है? बच्चों ने पूछा माँ प्रसाद तेरा क्या है? प्रसाद तेरा क्या है माँ प्रसाद तेरा क्या है? प्रसाद तेरा क्या है माँ प्रसाद तेरा क्या है? प्रसाद तेरा क्या है? प्रसाद तेरा क्या है? प्रसाद तेरा क्या है माँ प्रसाद तेरा क्या है? बच्चों ने पूछा माँ प्रसाद तेरा क्या है? बच्चों ने पूछा माँ प्रसाद तेरा क्या है? माँ प्रसाद तेरा क्या है? प्रसाद we are about to माँ what? हलवा पूरी बता गयो रे एक छोटी सी कन्या. हलवा पूरी बता गयो रे एक छोटी सी कन्या. हलवा पूरी बता गयो रे एक छोटी सी कन्या. हलवा पूरी बता गयो रे एक छोटी सी कन्या. अतो पुनर्जन दे गयो रे एक छोटी सी कन्या. अतो पुनर्जन दे गयो रे एक छोटी सी कन्या. एक छोटी सी कन्या. अतो पुनर्जन दे गयो रे एक छोटी सी कन्या. अतो पुनर्जन दे गयो रे एक छोटी सी कन्या. बच्चों ने पूछा मैं श्रृंगार तेरा
काली कपालिनी माँ दुर्गा भवानी माँ काली कपालिनी माँ दुर्गा
दुर्गे मैया है काली मैया, हे दुर्गे मैया है काली मैया, मनाओ दिन रतिया, हे दुर्गे मैया मनाओ दिन फूल चढ़ाओ मैया माला पहराओ, फूल चढ़ाओ मैया माला पहराओ, हे दुर्गे मैया तो है सारी चढ़ाओ, हे दुर्गे मैया तो है सारी चढ़ाओ, मनाओ दिन रतिया, हे दुर्गे मैया मनाओ दिन रतिया। ओ मनाओ दिन रतिया, हे दुर्गे मैया। आया रे मैया आया रे, तेरा वाली आया रे, आया रे मैया आया रे, तेरा वाली आया रे, आया रे मैया आया रे, हे आया रे मैया आया रे, आया रे मैया आया रे, तेरा वाली आया रे, आया रे मैया आया रे, तेरा वाली आया रे। ओ ब्रह्मा आए, विष्णु भी आए, शंकर डमरू बजाया रे। ओ ब्रह्मा आए, विष्णु भी आए, शंकर डमरू बजाया रे। वो बजाया रे माँ बजाया रे, तेरा वाली आया रे, आया रे मैया आया रे, तेरा वाली आया रे। इंद्र लोक से देवन आए, सब पर फूल बरसाया रे। ओ इंद्र लोक से राजा आए, प्रेम के फूल बरसाया रे, बरसाया रे बरसाया रे, शेरा वाली आया रे, आया रे मैया आया रे, शेरा वाली आया रे, आया रे मैया आया रे, शेरा वाली आया रे। ओ धरती नाचे, अंबर भी नाचे, गंगा नाचे, जमुना भी नाचे। ओ धरती नाचे, अंबर भी नाचे, गंगा नाचे, जमुना भी नाचे। अरे नाचे रे सब नाचे रे, तेरा वाली आया रे, आया रे मैया आया रे, तेरा वाली आया रे। आया रे आया देखो आया रे, शेरा वाली रे मैया आया, आया मेरा मैया, शेरा वाली मेरा मैया, लता वाली रे मैया आया, लता वाली रे मैया आया। आगे आया मेरा मैया, शेरा वाली मेरा मैया, एक चाक चढ़ाया है। ओ नंगे पैरों अकबर ने आया, सुन के चाक चढ़ाया है। उसने काटी घोड़े का सिरी, उसने काटी घोड़े का सिर, मैया के मिलाया मिलाया शेरवाली रे मैया। आज आया मेरा मैया शेरवाली, मेरा मैया लटवाली रे मैया आया। शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा ना, शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा, शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा ना, शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा। शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा ना, शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा। अरे सिंह सवारी आए मेरे मैया, सिंह सवारी आए मेरे मैया। अरे देवन फूल बरसावा, कहाँ देवन फूल बरसावा रे, शेरवाली के गुनवा, शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा ना, शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा। अरे ब्रह्मा भी आए, विष्णु भी आए, ब्रह्मा भी आए, विष्णु भी आए। शंकर डमरू बजावा, जहाँ शंकर डमरू बजावा रे, शेरवाली का गुनवा गावा, शेरवाली के गुनवा गावो ना, शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा। धरती भी गाए, अमर भी गावे, धरती भी गाए, अमर भी गाए, गंगा भी गाए, यमुना भी गाए। अरे तारों ने जगमगाया, कहाँ तारों ने जगमगाया रे, शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा, शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा ना, शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा। शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा ना, शेरवाली के गुनवा गावा। दुल्हन के देख मैया मुस्काई है, अरे दुल्हन के देख मैया मुस्काई है। हे माला के देख मुस्काई है, माला के देख हंसकाई है। जय बोलो ना जगदम्बा भवानी, 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 जय बोलो ना जगदम्बा भवानी।
appreciate it. So please think about it. Whatever you can give, we appreciate it.
जय जय